What's up out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse and I'm back for another comic book video, and this one is going to be the top 10 remnants of the Phantom Zone 52/Rebirth edition. Now, I haven't read the new 52 and I haven't gotten into Rebirth much, so I'm not sure how many of these took place in the new 52. But I know a good number of these came from Rebirth. So what we're going to do is, what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and combining the list. So if it comes out in 52 or Rebirth, it's just part of the same list. So, New 52 started in 2011, and it was kind of rewriting a major majority of the DC universe. Now, the New 52 didn't exactly do what DC set it out to do, and they came out with Rebirth, where most of the major history is restored, and they've got some new characters that are actually rather intriguing, which may bring me back to start reading DC on a regular basis. But we're going to go ahead and kick this list off with number 10. Number 10 is a twofer because they both entered the Phantom Zone at the same time. Coming in at number 10, Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, and Supergirl, Kara Zor-El, first both appeared in Flashpoint Volume 2, number 5 in 2011. Both of the heroines entered the Phantom Zone when a telepath that was being held prisoner by Cadmus used them to enter the Phantom Zone. Later, when the superheroines would escape, they would destroy a machine that Cadmus was using to siphon the power of the Phantom Zone, and they would get trapped in there again. They would end up fighting who's listed at number 9 on this list before they would get out. Now, coming in at 9, 8, and 7 are definitely people that you don't want to meet without a lot of backup or being a Kryptonian yourself. In fact, number 9 and 8 are Kryptonians, and number 7's race isn't exactly... They haven't exactly said what his race is, but we'll cover the next 3 and you'll see what I mean. Coming in at number 9, Zadu. Zadu, also known as the Phantom King, pretty sure he's titled that himself, first appeared in Action Comics Volume 2, number 5 in 2012. Zadu was around before Krypton exploded. He was a psychopathic, unethical researcher and was banished to the Phantom Zone for the nature of the sciences he was studying. In the Phantom Zone, he did vow revenge on the House of El, and at one point was even able to trade his consciousness with Superman. Around the time when the superheroines Batgirl and Supergirl entered in, he was working on an exosuit that he was powering from the trap souls into the Phantom Zone. They would stop Zadu, wreck his suit, and he vowed revenge on them someday. It is shown that in the future he does end up joining the anti-Superman army, but that is a story for another time. Coming in at number 8, Doomsday. Doomsday first appeared in Batman/Superman 3.1, Doomsday, in 2013. Doomsday was a creature of unknown origin, but Colonel Zod has made hints that he may have had a hand in Doomsday's creation. Doomsday was released upon Krypton to try and toughen it up because Zod deemed it as soft. Decades later, Doomsday would find his way to Earth and kill Superman and destroy Metropolis. But Superman would in fact return, beat Doomsday, and would confine him to the Phantom Zone. It's not quite listed how Doomsday ultimately gets out, but Superman does end the Doomsday threat once and for all by plunging him into a black hole. Coming in at number 7, Mongol. Mongol, also known as Lord Mongol, first appeared in Green Lantern Volume 5, number 5, in 2012. Mongol had come to the Earth in the hopes of being able to rule through hunger and violence. One of the first things he did is he had appeared to kill Batman before Superman had arrived. Later, when Superman would arrive, Mongol was able to cast him aside. As this game of Mongol raged on, Superman was able to channel all the anger of the Earth's population against Mongol, and was able to ultimately defeat him and imprison him in the Phantom Zone. While in the Phantom Zone, Mongol would find out that his son and the War World were also in prison in the Phantom Zone. He would kill his son, disgusted by the way he handled the people on the War World, and would proclaim itself War World's only true master. Now, coming in at number 6 and number 5, they actually both came out of the Superman's Dead storyline, and they have been brought back much to the same way as they were when they were originally introduced way back then. I mean, we didn't know who they were back then, but we know who they are now. So, here's the next two. Coming in at number 6, Cyborg Superman. Cyborg Superman, Henry Henshaw, first appeared in Team 7, Volume 2, number 5, in 2013. Now, I know that this does take place in Rebirth. Cyborg Superman was part of the Superman Revenge Squad, and they almost did defeat Superman until he got help from the Superman family, which consists of Supergirl, Steel, Superwoman, and Lex Luthor, who I understand was Superman also at this time. The other members of the Superman Revenge Squad would be sent to the Phantom Zone, but Cyborg Superman would not at that time. He would be betrayed by General Zod later, who would send him into the Phantom Zone and used Henshaw to rescue his wife and son from the zone while sending Henshaw into the zone. I'm not quite sure how it worked, but I know that it did work. And that's how Cyborg Superman ended up in the Phantom Zone. The Eradicator. The Eradicator first appeared in Superman Volume 4, number 2 in 2016. The Eradicator was part of a robot army created by Zod to capture Kryptonian lawbreakers and hold them into the Phantom Zone until it was time for their trial. When Krypton would be destroyed, the Eradicator would be off the planet at the time and was affected by the Earth being destroyed, and would travel the solar system until it made its way to Earth. The Eradicator came into contact with Jonathan Kent, who is Superman's son, and was able to take some of the DNA to enter the Fortress of Solitude. While in the fortress, he was able to gather and absorb items that belonged to Clark Kent to take on the form of the original Eradicator. Krypto sensed that the Eradicator was going to try to absorb Jonathan to remove the human part of his DNA to make him fully Kryptonian. Krypto was able to leap at the Eradicator and send him into the Phantom Zone before he was able to do any harm to Jonathan. Now, the last four names on this list are all connected to one person, and he's the number one on this list. I have mentioned all of these names before in a previous list, and in fact, the one who comes up as number one on this list has been mentioned in all the previous lists of the Phantom Zone residents so far. So let's cover the last four. Coming in at number 4, Faora. Faora Hall Ul first appeared in Action Comics Volume 2, number 23.2, Zod, in 2013. Faora was one of the followers of General Zod, who took place in the operation to make it look like their neighboring aliens were attacking them so that Krypton could go to war with them. She would be one of the followers of Zod that would be imprisoned with him when he was accused of treason for orchestrating an attack that wasn't actually happening. Coming in at number 3, Ursa. Ursa first appeared in Action Comics number 984 in 2017. I honestly don't know too much of Ursa. I assume that she was in prison at the same time that Zod and his followers were. All I know is that she has been released and fled with Zod to create his new Krypton. She is the wife of General Zod and the mother of Lord Zod. Coming in at number 2, Lord Zod. Lord Zod first appeared in Action Comics number 984 in 2017. He is the only person to be born in the Phantom Zone. He is the son of Ursa and General Zod. In this reality, when he was freed from the Phantom Zone, he did not join Superman and did not become the hero Nightwing. He actually left the Earth with his father to take over a planet to make it new Krypton. Coming in at number 1, General Zod. General Zod, Drew Zod, first appeared in Action Comics Volume 2, number 23.2, Zod, in 2013. Drew Zod was orphaned after his parents would both be attacked and killed in the Kryptonian wilderness. His mother was in fact killed by wild animals, and Drew Zod would kill his own father to make his escape. Later on, Drew Zod would become a colonel in the Kryptonian military and did not like the fact that the Kryptonians would take no action against a neighboring species known as the Char, who they used to be at war with. General Zod made it appear as if the Char was attacking Krypton. When Jor-El found out about Zod's deception, he turned him over to the authorities, and Zod was found guilty of treason and sentenced to the Phantom Zone. Well, that's it for this list. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you've enjoyed all the 3 lists that I've done so far, and I've got a special list coming up next week that includes the Phantom Zone. You won't want to miss that. So until the next time, I'll be seeing you.